during the challenge, I lost 11.8 pounds. I dropped 3.3% body fat, and I lost 7.75 inches overall. My favorite part of the challenge was the accountability of the score sheet and the group.
All right, so we just wrapped up the challenge. Introduce yourself.
My name is Jim Jeffers. I'm one of the coaches here at CrossFit Jungle Gym.
And why did you sign up for the challenge?
I needed some accountability. I've done the challenge in the past. I kind of know what I should be doing, but I'm not always doing it. So I definitely needed the accountability of the challenge to get me back on track.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about your success during the last couple weeks.
So I lost over 11 pounds. I dropped over 3% body fat, and I lost over 7 inches total. But I think probably the biggest thing is just gaining some confidence in doing something that's going to be sustainable moving forward.
Yeah. And so having done the challenge before, and doing it again this time, what do you feel like you're going to take away from this challenge that you didn't in the past that's going to make this more sustainable for you?
I think it's more a mindset around my food and what I've been eating, and that that eating better foods and the quantities that I was supposed to be eating satisfies me to where I don't need to have the junk foods or the processed foods, and I don't need to eat in the quantities that I was previously eating. That the amounts that I should be eating are more than enough.
And like now that you've been eating these quality foods, right, and you've had a bunch of progress, like what was the first sign that you were making progress?
I think at the halfway point I had lost a lot. I had lost probably 8+ pounds at the halfway point, but I think even more noticeable than that was my physical performance. So like my conditioning, when I would work out, I started noticing an ability to kind of move for longer durations of time at a higher intensity than I could before. So I think I was noticing just like that has probably stood out the most throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. And you just did a 5K trail run the other day, and how'd that feel in comparison to?
That was great. I mean, it was my first like official 5K and trail run all combined into one, and I was able to keep with the front of the pack and didn't feel like when I was done that I was like laid out on the ground. I was like, I needed a few minutes to recover, and I could have done something else. So, I was really happy with how that felt. I felt good doing it. It wasn't something that was like, killed me for the rest of the weekend type of thing. I was ready to go a couple hours later. So.
Yeah, awesome. Were there any results that you got that you noticed that maybe weren't part of the official measurements, or something we wouldn't have seen?
Yeah, I think being able to control some of the urges for some of the foods and things that I used to eat that wouldn't be as good for me. Like, I definitely didn't do the kitchen clean out to the fullest extent. So there was junk foods and things that had previously that I used to overconsume around, and I made it through the challenge without really any big urges. Like I said, I felt satisfied with what I was eating. So I think mentally, kind of knowing now that I don't need those other things, I think that's probably been the biggest thing that's not really a number or a measurement that stands out.
Yeah. And in order to get to that level of mindset or willpower or discipline, what would you say were the top contributing factors to being able to build that, and potentially any other success that you had during the challenge?
I think the accountability of like the part of the challenge, I think that really helped me accountable to start and kind of kickstart everything is doing the daily score sheet, and then just being a part of the group, and seeing people in the gym or in the weekly meetings and kind of talking about how things are going. Hold you accountable. You don't want to be the one that says, "Oh, I haven't done anything that I'm supposed to be doing, or I haven't even given it a shot." So I think getting that accountability and kind of kickstarting, like there was definitely in the first week, there's times where you're like, you just want to eat how you normally do, but knowing that you got to do that kind of holds you to it for long enough time to where then you can start to feel the difference. And I think once you feel the difference, it's easier to stick to the plan when you can actually feel or see any difference in the way your body's responding, whether it's size wise or performance wise. Like once you start to realize that hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and it feels good, then it's like a lot easier to maintain.
Yeah, awesome. Um, what would you say was the biggest obstacle that we helped you overcome?
I think avoiding processed foods and sugars. Like I think coming into it, I was noticing I was just like almost probably a sugar addiction. Just everything processed and extra sugars. Like I was a big soda drinker, and I haven't had a single soda since we started, and I don't feel the need that I need to run out and have one. So I think eating quality foods is probably the big thing, and that can still be satisfying.
Yeah, awesome. Is there anything you'd want to share with someone who's sitting at home, maybe in the same shoes you were before you signed up?
I think, something like our challenge, like you just need to give it a shot. If you know you need to make a change, you need to try it, but you need to be open and willing to trying something different than what you've done in the past, because if you were like I was, like what I was doing wasn't really working. It wasn't getting me any results, so I needed to make a change. But finding someone or something that's going to hold you accountable to giving it a true shot, I think that's probably the biggest benefit. That's what I found most helpful about our challenge, is that there was something there to make me give it my best effort, at least for this duration, to see what was going to happen, and then the results followed.
Yeah, awesome. And how do you feel going forward? Are you gonna keep this going?
Yeah, I feel awesome. I do. The first time I did it, for whatever reason, this time was definitely. I think it's going to stick a little bit better. I feel much more confident in my own abilities to follow the same general guidelines, and more of the big picture of just eating good things that are good for you. And I think that I'm feeling a lot better this time around. It's not just about the numbers, and I think that I like that feeling, so I want to keep it going.
Yeah, awesome, Jim. Great job.
I'm ecstatic about my results.